Down. Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
Okay.
All right, boys and girls, how we doing? Good to see you guys. I figured I'd come on this afternoon and say hi to everybody in light of the news just breaking. If you haven't heard, you can see it over my head. After 70 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II has passed away. A truly historic moment here on the world stage. That means that Prince Charles has now ascended to the throne. He is. It's now long live the king, King Charles. And it's a sad day. My wife first told me about this. Want to say, shoot, a little bit after 11, I think. I was watching Jerry over at Pop Culture Minefield. Shout out to him. And I gave him a heads up about it. He let everybody know about it during the show. His morning coffee show with Pop Culture Minefield and his crew over there. And the story was around that time that she was under doctor's care there at the palace, and they were calling the family in. So it didn't look good, and now they have passed away. Or excuse me, she has passed away. A long reign for Elizabeth, and I have to say, I'll say it the same way I did on Pop Culture Minefield show. She was a steady voice in a sea of chaos over the last few decades with the royal family. And as I stated on Pop Culture Minefield show, I believe each nation needs to have its own institution, and I don't want to see the royals go away. In Great Britain, I think our space program should be ours in the U.S. I mean, we've always been a nation that expands. I mean, throughout our history, through the Louisiana Purchase and expanding all the way west across to California. We've always been explorers, so the fact that we won the space race, I really think that needs to be our institution. I mentioned that to Pop Culture Minefield, and I think I triggered them. They apparently had a big discussion about the CIA and the Air Force being involved with NASA, and that was not my intent. I really, I'm one of these guys that doesn't believe in labels. I'm conservative when it comes to money, but I'm a little bit liberal when it comes to social things. One of the problems I had with President Obama was the fact that he mothballed the shuttle program. I thought we should keep that going, and I just believe that's our institution. I remember watching those capsules land as a kid, in the ocean and everything, and how they advanced to the shuttle. I'd like to see us take the next step, and I think we should always be reaching to explore. And I guess it's my love of Star Trek. It's the final frontier. We got to find out what's out there, right? So anyway, how are you guys doing out there today? Hi to all of you. I hope you're having a good day. It's some sad news. If you're just joining us, the Queen has passed away in Great Britain. Let me see if I can find us a story. Let's see. I need to go ahead and get the chat up too. Hang on a second. Got a few things to set up here for the show. Hope you're doing okay. Wanted to do a live stream today and see how everybody's doing. Oh, look at those pictures back there. Charles and Diana. Oh boy, don't even get me started on that subject. Okay. Yeah, Charles, I mean, that's the nature of royalty. He's moving on up. You know, that's a can of worms right there. I mean, his involvement with uh Miss Bowles and during his first marriage and just it's rough. Okay. So let's see what kind of stories we can come up with here for you. Show you guys live what's going on here. This is, I don't even know if I can show this one. Yeah, we can. Okay. Looks good. All right. Let me share my screen for you. Well, hang on. I want to do one other thing first. New window. Okay, take that one, put it over here. Sorry, guys, this is kind of impromptu. I was going to do this about 1:30 or 2, but I figured I better go ahead and get on since we've got this breaking story. 70 years on the throne, man. You know, what can you say? It's that's got to be one of the longest reigns of any royal in history. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this up. Come on, share screen. And we want to do that and that. Okay, and there it is, boys and girls. Let me see if I can get a little bigger for you. Yeah, there we go. Queen Elizabeth, who reigned over the UK for 70 years, dies at 96. Queen Elizabeth, the seemingly eternal monarch who became a bright but inscrutable beacon of continuity in the United Kingdom during more than 7 decades of rule, died September 8th at Balmoral Castle, her estate in the Scottish Highlands. She was 96. Her death of undisclosed causes was announced by Buckingham Palace. In her reign, which began in February of 1952, after the death of her father, King George VI, Elizabeth served as a constant and reassuring figure in Britain. That's what I think when I think of her. She was steadfast. She really, I mean, with all the chaos that went on within that family, she was the rock. She definitely was. She was a reassuring figure in Britain and on the world stage as she helped lead her country through a period of profound shifts in geopolitical power and national unity, or excuse me, national identity. Yep. The Queen has passed away at 96 years old. She had a long run. Yeah, it did. It did. I see you there, Chris. Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's a shame. She, with all the craziness we live with in the world today, she never wavered. That lady always had the same message. Be strong. And be steadfast. She was, she was a female version of Churchill, some might say. So yeah, sad day on the world stage for everyone. We lost a bright soul in the universe, and she's still with us. But it's going to be a shame to see her opinions on things going forward. Not seeing it. So how are you doing today, Chris? What's going on? I'm surprised you're up, man. True Queen till the end. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. Most definitely. What's going on with you today, buddy? Let me know in the chat there. I'm shocked that you're up. Really. My man Chris there, he works at night, so I'm kind of shocked he's awake. He may be just starting his day. I don't know. I kind of am. I got started about 9:00. I wake up with a game of Madden. I love my football. And by the way, if you guys don't know, we're going to be talking about these subjects and many others this evening. Me and my brother on the Brothers Hack the Matrix, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern. We'll be talking about the Queen. We'll be talking about the upcoming weekend of football. Who do you think's going to win tonight? The Los Angeles Rams, the champs, or is it going to be the upstart Buffalo Bills? Who will it be? Be sure to tune in to that tonight, but we'll be talking about these subjects at length. But anyway, let's see. Chris says, I've been up since 6 a.m. Excuse me, 8 a.m. Why you been up so much, man? Why you been up so long? Uh-oh. What we got here? Who's hitting me up? I don't know. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shocker. Just came out of nowhere. There was reports earlier today that she was ill under a doctor's care at the castle, and that her family was being called in, and that's never a good sign when you got an elderly person. Got home early last night. Okay, all right. So you had an early night last night. Gotcha. All right. So, what do you guys think? Buffalo Bills or the Los Angeles Rams as the NFL season kicks off tonight? I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to tonight, boys and girls. And by the way, I haven't made a thumbnail for it yet, but we have a new show. My man Ronimus is going to be joining me for a little pregame powwow. 10 o'clock Saturday morning Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. We're gonna talk about the week one. We already did talk about it, but we're gonna do our picks and stuff and do a little pregame powwow, see what's going on with everything. That'll be Sunday at 10 a.m. Central, about 2 hours before kickoff. We'll talk about the tonight's game and the results. We'll also talk about our shared player that we're looking forward to watching this year. I am a huge Seattle Seahawks fan, and he's a huge Broncos fan. And let's see. Chris says, I bet the Bills to win. You bet the Bills to win? Oh, you bet on football, do you? Let me tell you something, man. My dad told me a long time ago, don't ever bet on boxing or football. You can't bet on boxing because it's rigged. We all know it. Even though we love the sport, And the football, you don't want to bet on that because you never know which way the ball's going to bounce. Now, do I think that's a good bet? Yeah, it could be. I mean, they're doing great these days. They really are. I mean, that game against the Chiefs was a classic last year in the AFC Championship game. It came down to who was going to have the ball last, really. But I'm pretty sure Ric Flair said it best.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
And the last time I checked, the man is the Los Angeles Rams, my friend. And they're playing at home tonight. So the Bills have a tall task ahead of them. They are capable, no doubt. They are capable. But until they get beat, I got to go with the champs, man. Got to go with the champs. You know what I'm saying? Got to do it. Let's see. I just figured. Just a figure speech, Papa Joe. I bet anymore. Okay. All right. I got you, man. Nothing against it. Hey, you can bet all you want. Let's see, Janet from another planet. How you doing, darling? It's good to see you. Thanks for watching. She says I'm not into football. Well, a lot of us are. We dig it, but yeah. My last live stream Sunday evening, friend of mine named Ron came on, and we decided to start our own little pregame show. Hi, how you doing? It's good to see you, young lady. I'm just a little check in. In case you hadn't heard, the Queen has passed away. Got on the TV behind me there. I don't have the sound up though because I don't really want to. I don't even know what it would sound like coming through here. But I did pull up an article from the Washington Post, and I've got that here. Hang on one second. Yeah, she passed away. 70-year reign. She became the queen after her father, George VI, died in 1952. And as we all know, that means the expression will officially change to long live the king. King Charles is going to be reigning, the reigning monarch in Great Britain. Let's see. She says, I am into all of your awesome collectibles. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, this is we renovated this place. I worked in I was a furnace tech for a glass manufacturer here in Shreveport, northwestern Louisiana, Janet. And whenever COVID hit, they closed the very next year, 2021. They shut the doors on January 1st. And with my severance, I went ahead and took a couple of months off, redid this room. This basically had turned into a storage room, this one here, and set up an office for us that I can't even use now because my wife now answers phones for a utility company and from the house. We set it up as an office for both of us, and I'll never use it again. Never. So it's kind of funny how things work out. But anyway, yeah, all the stuff you see on the walls here, I might give you guys a tour here in a second if I can kind of steady cam my webcam here in a second. I've got plenty of line to do it with, but I'll show you. Anyway, what this stuff is on the walls, it's stuff. First of all, my dad's a huge autograph collector, and a lot of the stuff you see on the walls were wedding presents for when I married my wife around the turn of the century. It was 2001, May of 2001. And he gave us a lot of those. That Arnold Schwarzenegger that's just over the top of my head next to the Enterprise, next to the TV set there. That one's one of my favorites. It's signed in gold paint pen. But this, my wife is a compulsive gambler. I have to be truthful with you guys. And part of her recovery program, part of her what they call aftercare program, is we need to spend more time together here at the house. I mean, we were, at the height of her addiction, I thought we were going to end up being one of those couples that had separate bedrooms, which would have sucked as far as I'm concerned. But we do everything together now. This room is half, from about the television to this side where I'm sitting is my studio. Do my artwork on the drafting board over there. I do my YouTube right here in this little nook. And the other half of the room, I made the biggest mistake. Now, guys, eventually I'm going to be out back in a shack with a work light over my head and all that shit. She's running me out of here. I bought her a Cricut. And now we've got the heat press and everything else. We bought a 3D printer over there that I haven't even played with yet. I really need to. Here coming up, we're fixing to get the website going here pretty soon, and I think we're going to set it up for my stuff because I'm working on a comic book, and we may make figures with it and stuff. But anyway, look, her Cricut crafting area has blown up. We got our new table and everything. Let's see. Oh, no kidding. Ah, look at you. Metairie. Ah, I love it. I got a great story to tell you about Metairie, man. My aunt used to live down there. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at. I tell you what, one of the scariest moments of my life, I went and saw Poltergeist down there when I was visiting her, and the inside of the theater looked like a church. It scared the shit out of me. It was awesome. But my favorite time, the whole reason I still go see movies in a movie theater was a visit to Metairie. It was 1983. It was May of 1983. Let's see. The harbor, yum yum. Okay, is that the place to go? Is that the place to go? What are they? Is it seafood or name the harbor? It's got to be, right. What do they got? What's their specialty? But anyway, Swamp Basket. Oh, check it out. Oh man, that sounds good. I can just imagine what's in that thing. Wow. You got any fried gator in there? They got some of that. Did they go full Cajun? What you think? But anyway, let's see. Chris says, I love seafood. Yeah. Hey, man. Look, Metairie, where she's at, it's like, you know how Dallas and Houston have all these little smaller townships. They're all part of the city. Metairie is that they're attached to New Orleans. They're really close. Yeah. Metairie is one of the smaller places around New Orleans. Anyway, look, the reason why I go back to the movies all the time, Janet, is, let's see, May 83. I had just graduated from high school. I was taking the summer off before I joined the military police corps in the Army. And, oh, man, here it is, the basket. Frog legs, swamp gator, shrimp, gator, and turtle soup. Yes, that sounds awesome. It does. You make me want to get in the car, make that 5-hour drive, get my ass down there. It used to take 8 hours though. Thank God for I-49. Yeah. It's boy, and I tell you, Chris, I don't know how much you know about our state. Chris lives in Houston, by the way. He's just west of you. All you have to do is take I-10 to go see Chris. Anyway, oh God, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So it's I was fixing to join the Army, and I was taking the summer off, and my aunt wanted me to come down there and visit. Alcohol in our theaters, of course. It's Louisiana. We'll take any second to party. We look for reasons to throw a party. You know that. But anyway, my aunt wanted me to come down to visit. Now, she was in the Louisiana State National Guard down there, and she was full-time guard, right? And so, let's see, I tried fried gator, and I like it. Well, yeah, fried gator's great, man. It is. That's the way to eat it. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, she wanted me to come down to visit, and I said, look, that's fine. You got to pick me up on a Tuesday or a Thursday, because Wednesday I'm going to be in a theater. And she said, why is that? I said, because Return of the Jedi is coming out. I'm a huge Star Wars fan at the time. And heck, when Empire Strikes Back came out, me and my buddies rode our bikes across the river to Shreveport and played D&D in the parking lot, because, you know, in those days you couldn't get advanced tickets. You had to be there in line. So we were there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Papers came out and talked to us and everything. We were out there playing Dungeons and Dragons in the parking lot, waiting for that theater to open up. But anyway, I told her, I said, yeah, I got to be at a theater on Wednesday. So she picked me up on Tuesday. She said, cool. You know, she picked me up on Tuesday. She drops me in front of the theater on her way to work at 6:30 in the morning now. Movie don't start till 2, people. Okay. And like I said, back then you had to be in line to go see it, right? Let's see. I love great food. Yeah. Yeah. She loves great food. All of us do. Louisiana people, we love the cooking, man. I can't cook to save my life. My wife can though. She can do it. But anyway, it's 6:30 in the morning. There's 80 people out in front of this place in Metairie, a big theater in Metairie. And I went ahead and got in line. They had a Charlie O machine, which is like a fountain drink machine, but it's like all, it's not like Dr. Pepper and stuff. It was like orange and grape and stuff like that. You could get one. It was the first time I ever saw a bootleg movie. A guy had a VHS set up and he was playing. Now, back then, movies didn't come out for years. Okay. They re-released them in the theater all the time to make more money off of them. And then they put them on VHS later on. Well, this guy was showing a copy of The Empire Strikes Back. It looked like garbage. It looked about as good as the TV over my head right now. Okay. But it was The Empire Strikes Back. I recognized it. I said, man, where'd you get that? He says, it just appeared in my VCR one day. Let's see. Chris says, Janet from another planet. Me too. Yeah. Everybody loves food. That's an international language. Food is awesome. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like I said, there's 80 people in front of me, and I hear. Now I live in the Shreveport-Bossier area up here in the northwestern part of the state, right, Janet? I hear somebody holler, "Joe, what are you doing?" And I'm like, nobody knows me down here but my aunt. She's at work, right? And I look up in the front of the line. It's a bunch of dudes. I went to leadership school right here at Barksdale Air Force Base. I was in the Air Force ROTC in high school. The guys up at the front of the line were friends of mine that I'd met at leadership school up here at Barksdale. So I got up in the front of the line. And nobody was mad at me. I mean, all these people knew they were getting a seat at the place. It was early yet. The line wasn't that big yet. But 80 people, that's a lot of folks first thing in the morning, And 2:00 came, that place filled up. Man, I tell you, I've never had an experience like that. I think the closest thing was probably going to see Fellowship of the Ring in 2001. That was probably it. Every time one of the characters came on screen for the first time, the place blew up. People lost their minds, When the hologram of Luke came up, when he was talking to Jabba, everybody lost their minds, And let me tell you, what spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi, which you should have by now, damn it. When Darth threw the Emperor over that, first of all, when he was sitting there looking back and forth, what should I do? Everybody was yelling at the screen. And when he grabbed the Emperor and threw him overboard, man, popcorn flew in the air. Everybody lost their minds. It was awesome. That was the best movie experience I ever had. And I wasn't even in the town I live in. I was down there in your town in Metairie. Yeah. So, yeah, Metairie holds a special place in my heart, for sure. Which me and my wife try to get down to New Orleans at least once a year if we can. We haven't been able to go this last year because we had to fly to Maine. My mom just moved back to Maine, where she's from, and like to check in on her, because she is getting up there in age, and like to check in on her and see how she's doing. Actually went back to Maine for the first time in 38 years. That same summer I'm talking about, we had taken a van, me, my mom, her sister and husband, and I think there was some other people, I'm not sure, but we were all in a van, and we drove, I think it was 36 hours. They just kept swapping drivers, and I think it took us 36 hours to get to the northern tip of Maine from here. Good amount of time. But anyway, that was the last time I was in Maine. Now, my mother just moved there because her husband passed away, and she wanted to go back where people were. So she's up there now. And she was in southern Alabama, about an hour north of Mobile, in a town called Chatham. And I used to make the 6-hour drive over there to see her Thanksgivings. But she moved back to Maine. Well, I took that opportunity this fall. Now, This is what's funny. My wife can't stand the cold. Okay. If it's below 80 degrees, she's cold. Okay. Yeah. It's a good thing we live in Louisiana. You know what I mean? Never gets cold here. Never truly cold anyway. So we decided to, I said, okay, if we're going to go to Maine, what we got to do is we got to go in late September because that's when the leaves turn. That's when fall sets in. Okay. And people will drive up the coast of Maine just to see the foliage turn. It's so beautiful. The colors, they're unbelievable what you'll see there. And it's kind of thing that guy that does the painting on PBS in the old days, the guy with the white guy with the fro, he'd be painting that all day. And he'd use every color in the palette to do it. But anyway, we picked the perfect time to go. My cousin told me that the leaves had just started turning. And it was the first time I'd been there in 38 years. We went and it was so funny. I mean, my mom, when I say the northern tip of Maine, I'm talking she was in Fort Kent. She's back in the Allagash now. But if you look on a map where Allagash, Maine is, you don't get more northern in Maine than that. It's up in the northern tip. You know, you walk over the hill, which you and I would call a mountain, but they call it a hill. If you walk over that hill, you'll see the river that separates the U.S. from Canada. Matter of fact, I took my wife to, they have a monument set up at Route 1. They call it America's First Mile. It's the bridge that goes across, and it's there in Fort Kent. It's the bridge that goes across from Quebec to Maine. And Route 1, if you don't know what that is, guys, it goes all the way down the east coast of the United States, from the northern tip of Maine all the way down to the Florida Keys. It's one of the most famous roads in the United States. And it's got a big monument there called America's First Mile. And I got to show my wife that. And plus, my mom is one of 10 kids, lumberjack family, Irish. And there's my Uncle Paul, my Aunt Peggy, and my Uncle Bobby are never coming out of those woods. So, she got to meet all those people. And it was so funny. I walked into my Uncle Bobby's house, and because that's how my parents met. My dad was from Boston, Massachusetts, and my mom was going to school down there. Back then, okay, Allagash, where she's from, it's very rural. They only have like one schoolhouse, and it's for all grades kind of thing. So to get their kids better educations, they would, it was a different time, guys. I don't want to say farm them out, but what they did was they became kind of indentured servants. They would go, my mom was working for somebody keeping their house, so she could go to a better school. And that's how they met. I think they met in Watertown. Pretty sure. Of course, if you've heard Watertown before, that's where they caught the Boston bomber at. But it's north of Boston, I think. But that's where my parents met, and it was through my Uncle Bobby. My Uncle Bobby was good friends with my dad. And it's so funny. I walked into his house. He said, "My God, you're the spitting image of your father," which I am. I look just like him. And it was pretty funny because he hadn't seen me in 38 years. Hadn't seen my dad in longer than that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, and I called, by the way, when I saw the news today, I called my mother right away. I left a message on her machine. She is a big fan of the Royals. She's a big fan of the Kennedys too. She thinks they're the royal family of the United States. I dig the Kennedys, but I dig the royal family a little bit more. As a matter of fact, you see that character right there, the royal fox? She actually, if you check out her backstory whenever I do the comics, she was saved. She was actually a fox pup. I think they call them pups. I'll have to do my research and see. But or it might be a cub. I'm not sure. But she was saved by Princess Diana after a fox hunt. That's why she's called the Royal Fox. I was a big fan of Diana, big fan of the People's Princess. Yes, definitely. I dig the royal family because guys, I got to tell you, and those of us that are a little older understand this a little more than others, but the things you see happening in politics and social climate and all that stuff, none of it's new. Oh yeah, Chris says him too. Yeah, I've always been a big fan. But some things stay the same no matter what, and the royal family has been that way. I mean, yes, they have their they're like any other family. They've got their people that are just screwballs, and then they've got people like the great Queen Elizabeth, who man, think about what that country would be like if she hadn't been around. You know what I mean? She was a steadying force in a lot of things. Sure, Parliament runs the country now, and the executive branch. The Prime Minister and everything. We know that they're basically a national figurehead now, but they're the ambassadors of Great Britain, and I hope they continue to be that. We need some good stabilizing things in this world. But my point about politics and stuff is things. You've heard the term here lately, the pendulum swinging back. That's what it does. It swings back and forth, guys. I remember there was one time my brother was losing his mind over. I think they had a story in the news. Maybe 2 years before Obama left office, that the Russians were buzzing the west coast of the United States. And I told him, I said, Dan, they do that all the time. They just want you to know about it for some reason. Shouldn't really worry about them doing that. They're just probing the defenses. What you need to ask yourself is, why does the news want you to know that? Because I don't know. I got a different perspective on it than a lot of people. I don't watch mainstream news anymore. I can't. It's just I can't watch CNN or Fox. They're both trying to sell you a viewpoint, and I long for the days of Cronkite. Just give me the facts, man. Just the facts, man. Give me a little dragnet. Just the facts, man. It's too editorialized now. It's too editorialized. Now, I say that from a perspective of a guy that actually his first year in college wanted to become a journalist. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a truth seeker. I was a big fan of the work that Woodward and Bernstein did. If you've ever heard of All the President's Men, that movie with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. Oh, that's who they were portraying, Woodward and Bernstein, and the footwork they did to uncover what Nixon was doing in the White House. And I was a big fan of that and wanted to become one myself. And hang on a second. I should put this thing on silent. Sorry about that, guys. I don't answer spam risk calls. But anyway, I was a big fan of their work. And decided to go to, journalism school, communications journalism. And I'm walking up to the steps of the Student Center. And this is in spring of 87. Maybe winter. No, spring. It was a spring semester, which meant it was probably winter. It's probably in February. Walking up the steps of the Student Center, fresh out of the Army. Me and my buddy were both of us, a guy named Ray that I went to school with. And both of us joined the Army the same day, got out the same time. Kind of a mistake by us. We took a class together at night, which about 2 weeks after class started, We hardly went back to class. We were too busy partying. Never take a class with an old drinking buddy from school. Never do that. You'll never get any work done. But anyway, walk up the steps of students, and there's a reporter there. And there's a cameraman with her. And she waves us over, said, "Hey, can we ask you some questions?" Sure, absolutely. And she sticks a microphone in my face. She says, "How do you feel about President Reagan making cuts to higher education?" And I looked at my buddy Ray and I said, "Well, you know, it doesn't really affect us. We were in the military to get our college money, so it doesn't really affect us. We got plenty of money to go to school on." And she looked at the cameraman. This is 1987 now, folks. 1987. Looks at the cameraman and goes, and takes the mic away from me. And I'm sitting there. Now I'm going to school for journalism, folks. Okay. And I looked at her. I said, "You don't want to talk to us now?" And she goes, "No, thank you. We're done." I said, "Wait a minute. I'm going to school here, and they're telling me that I'm going to school for journalism, and they're telling me that I should be covering every angle of a story, be objective, and cover every angle of a story." And she looked me dead in the face, and just like it was an afterthought, said, "Well, we just want to talk to people that are getting hurt by it." That's in 1987, folks. How many years ago was that? Pretty sure that was 35 years ago. So this is nothing new. The stuff you're seeing on TV where they try and slant things one way or another, it's nothing new. They've been doing it forever. And I can tell you exactly when they started doing it. It was when the head of the royal, some say is the royal family in the United States, was murdered right in front of God and everybody in Dallas. That's when they started doing it. Because that guy wasn't going with the program. He wasn't going with the program, so they took him out and said, "Okay, we're going to have to manipulate the narrative going forward." So yeah, it's nothing new. This far left coverage, far right coverage, it's been that way for a long time. And you've just got to filter through. You've got to, first of all, take it in from several sources. Double check your sources. I've told my son this so many times. Look, every once in a while he'll get political and he'll put up stuff on Facebook without even checking it out. I remember one time he put up something about Hillary Clinton get arrested. I said, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, there's no way she got arrested, but you got to do your due diligence. And it's part of I know it. I hate to say it to folks, and a lot of people are going to go, well, I shouldn't have to do that much work. Well, guess what? In a free society, that's the cost of freedom. You have to be vigilant. Okay. You have to do that. You have to get your news from several different sources and filter through the crap and get the facts out. It's your job to do that. Okay. It's your job to get that information and make an informed decision. If you want to do the best thing for your country, that's what you do. Okay. It's not that hard. And, there's guys out there screaming about, this is going to hell in a handbasket. This is going to hell in a handbasket. Well, you know what? There's also good things going on too. It's just, you sell a lot more stuff when you talk about bad stuff. People love watching somebody fall. They dig it. It's like watching a train wreck. They'd rather watch the train wreck than something ascend. They really would. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now about paying attention to what you consume. Okay. Pay attention to that stuff. All right. My daughter gets on me for listening to Alex Jones. I'm like, look, chick, you may think the guy's nuts, but guess what? Half of what he talks about ends up in the news 6 months later, 3 months later, a month later. Yes, I know he comes off like a loon, but you got to remember something about Alex. He's an entertainer. That's what he does. And he's made his mistakes just like everybody else has. He's paying for them now. Oof. Gosh, is he paying for them? Wow. They threw the book at him over that school shooting. Chris says, indeed. Yes. Yes. Well, that's the price of freedom, man. You have to stay vigilant. I know you know this. I try not to talk politics on the video games we play. Chris is one of my video game buddies. And I try not to talk that there because we do that to get away from this crap and have fun. That's my whole idea when I'm playing video games. But don't think I'm not paying attention. Okay? Don't think I'm not paying attention. I'm paying attention to everything that's going on. It's just, if you want to know my opinions about stuff, watch the show tonight. Yeah, you'll see what my opinions are on things then. And my brother, whew, he and I see eye to eye on a lot of things. Some things we don't, but we have a respectful discussion with each other about it. That's the thing. This is, if I can impart any piece of wisdom to everybody watching out there, remember this, okay? There's something called civil discourse. I know it sounds like a totally alien thing these days, but trust me, it still exists. Best example I can think of it is I had a friend at Libby Glass back when I was a smoker about a decade ago. And he came to work there, and he was an ex-Navy guy. So we were both ex-military. So we both spoke the language just fine. But this guy, African-American, totally left-wing, Democrat guy, right? Me, I'm a registered Republican just because you got to register to vote as something. So I've always done that. Everybody in the military back when I was in registers that. I've just never changed it. If I was going to change it to something, be independent now. But I guess if you're going to classify me as something, I'd be libertarian. I want the government out of my bedroom and out of my wallet. The government only needs to do two things for me. Protect me. So I want the best military in the world. I want you to protect me, and I want you to help the lowest of the low on the totem pole. Okay? That's what I want you to do. That's all I need you to do. Okay? You don't need to be in my bedroom. As long as I'm not hurting anybody else or myself, hey, stay out of my bedroom. Right? So I lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, I guess I would be an independent. And oh yeah, okay. I was talking about me and Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy, total left wing. I'm more conservative, really, when it comes to the wallet and everything. And but we had great discussions, man. Great discussions in the smoking area all the time. Man, when Trump was being elected the first time, oh my God, those discussions were great, because he just couldn't believe the guy. And I was like, man, he's got good messages. The only thing is nobody's going to listen to it because of how stupid he acts. I agreed with Trump on a lot of things, but I have never agreed with the way he carried himself at all. Never. These people that, that back him and just think he's God among men, I don't understand it. I'm like, no, don't worship that dude. He's a regular guy like anybody else. He's got the same problems everybody else does. Don't put him on a pedestal. He's just a guy trying to help. That's all, but he's got his problems. I mean, God, he could have done so much more when he was in office if he'd just stayed off Twitter. But just that right there, pretty much, like I said, my background in college was in communications. Well, the first thing they teach you is cut down on the distortion so your message can be heard. Well, this guy distorted his message all over the damn place. Distorted it to where people couldn't hear it. But yeah, me and Jimmy used to have great discussions. Never fought about anything. We to this day, we're great friends. Great friends. Matter of fact, I wonder if I have that meme on here. I know I've got it on my Facebook page. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think I'll wrap up with this thought if I can find it. I got to look at my photos and see if it's on here. But my brothers on the left and the right, we're all Americans, man. We should all be worried about taking care of each other and doing the best things for our country. And the best thing you can do for your country before these midterms come up, investigate the people you're planning on voting for. And if there's a name comes up that's on the ballot that you don't know anything about, you better dig into them and see what they're about. Your vote matters and it counts, man. Let's see. That's your job. Oh, man. Oh, here's a good one. I am in so much trouble this year. Yeah, I'm going to see a lot of these on my feed here coming up. Hang on a second, guys. I got to show you this. You want to have a laugh? Check it out. The Superman Seahawk picture. It came up on my memories feed. We are going to have such a long season. Oh, my God. It's going to be horrible. I heard they were going to make Geno Smith the starter. We don't have a quarterback. We're in so much trouble. God love you, Russ. I hope you do fine in Bronco land. I hear he's already talking shit about the Seahawks, though. That's not good to me. But anyway, let me go here and see if I can find this meme. I usually can find it when it comes up. Let's see, where is it? I put it up not too long ago, I believe. I should be able to find it pretty fast. Come on now. Where are you? I know you're in here somewhere. What a bummer. There it is. I found it. I told you I'd find it. Yeah, we'll close the show today on this note. Look, boys and girls, I just want you to remember this, okay? Like I was just telling you, the pendulum swings back and forth. Political power is always going to change hands. Just remember one thing about your government, okay? They're trying to control you. So don't forget, government's worst fear is us having each other's back, okay? And don't forget it. It's a fact. Don't let them divide us, okay? Stick together. And this is a fact, boys and girls. Everybody else that don't understand this, they are brainwashed. They are. By the slant of the media, okay? Don't let that media slant get in your head. The government fears one thing, a united people. And they're constantly trying to divide us so they can control us. And I really believe that. It is a fact. They fan flames on both sides. And they're getting really good at it with the advent of social media and whatnot. So remember this meme, guys. Government's worst fear is us having each other's back, okay? Don't forget that. I want to thank you guys for showing up today. Want to let you know what's going on with the channel. Let's see. You can always back the channel. I'm a subscribed star. Get you some behind-the-scenes stuff on the Privateer, the making of the comic book and whatnot. And if you want to know more about that, you can always tune in every Saturday at 1:30 with me and Justifier Jim, where I plot and draw The Privateer, working on the comic book. Now that I've got a little change in schedule, I'm going to be trying to work on that comic book a little bit more. But yeah, you can watch that every Saturday at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. And don't forget, this evening, you got The Brothers Hack the Matrix. Every Thursday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We talk about everything that's in the news. We'll be talking about the Queen's death tonight and her legacy. We'll be talking about the upcoming football season too. We love our football, man. My brother's LSU Tigers had a heartbreaker this weekend. I'm sure he's not going to want to talk about that. I'm going to let him bring that up. I'm not even going to mention it. He bleeds purple and gold, folks. That's it. He loves college. I'm more of an NFL guy myself. But anyway, come check us out tonight at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. And still haven't got a schedule down for Twitch yet. Papa Joe Gamer up way too late, but I do have a couple of new playlists set up, a couple of walkthroughs I did, one of Beyond Two Souls and one of Injustice 2. Go check those out on the channel. I always upload them a couple of days after I run them on Twitch. Matter of fact, I got to check and see if I got any new ones I need to put up. But anyway, other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II. You will be missed. You were a great lady, a steadying voice in a sea of chaos when it comes to the royal family in Great Britain over those 7 decades that she ruled. And long live the king. I'm not a big Charles fan, but hey, I want to see him. Maybe this is what he needs to be the man he needs to be and you know, really step up his game. We'll see. So you guys take care out there, and I'm going to leave you with the trailer for tonight's show at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. The Brothers Hack the Matrix. Until I see you again, you guys keep on keeping on. God bless you.